Adjectives, synonyms, and opposites. Meet Marcus Campagna, a man of exceptional talent, renowned for being one of the most eminent lawyers of his generation. Adjectives: exceptional, unusually good. Eminent, famous and respected, often for being good at a profession. Now, Marcus wasn't a conventional lawyer. Instead, he had a reputation for defending individuals accused of the most brutal crimes. Adjectives: conventional, following traditional methods. Brutal, extremely violent and harsh. However, Marcus found his latest case, involving a character named Mabot, to be quite bizarre. Marcus couldn't form a wholly favorable impression of Mabot. Adjectives: bizarre, weird and peculiar. Favorable, positive or approving. Despite defending many accused individuals in the past, Marcus felt reluctant to accept that Mabot might have killed his own children for revenge. Adjectives: reluctant, unwilling or hesitant. This case was more than just challenging, it was disturbing, leaving Marcus with a heavy heart as he prepared for the trial. Adjectives: disturbing, upsetting and causing discomfort. Synonyms: exceptional, outstanding. Eminent, renowned. Conventional, traditional. Brutal, vicious, brutality. Bizarre, weird, peculiar. Favorable, positive. Reluctant, unwilling. Disturbing, upsetting. Opposites: exceptional, ordinary. Eminent, unknown. Conventional, unorthodox. Brutal, gentle. Bizarre, normal. Favorable, unfavorable. Reluctant, willing. Disturbing, calming. As a spotlight, let's consider eminent and notorious. While someone eminent is famous and respected, being notorious means being famous for negative reasons, often associated with being bad. Spotlight: eminent, famous and respected. Notorious, infamous and associated with being bad. Now, you can practice by creating sentences using these adjectives, synonyms, and opposites. Absolutely, let's focus on an English lesson about easily confused adjectives using the provided material. Lesson: easily confused adjectives. Some adjectives can be easily confused due to their similarities. Let's explore a few pairs and clarify their meanings. Comparable versus comparative. Comparable: the economic situation in this country is not really comparable to China. Comparative: I've produced a comparative analysis of the two social care systems. Clarification: while comparable means similar or equivalent, comparative involves comparing two or more things. Naked versus bare. Naked: the child was almost naked. Bare: they walked on bare feet along the beach. Bare arms, bare legs. Clarification: naked typically refers to complete lack of clothing, while bare means uncovered or exposed. Deadly versus deathly. Deadly: it's a deadly snake. Deathly: there was a deathly silence in the room. Clarification: deadly pertains to causing death, while deathly relates to an intense, death-like quality. Comprehensive versus comprehensible. Comprehensive: I need a comprehensive list of hotels. Comprehensible: it's a comprehensible story. Clarification: comprehensive means thorough or inclusive, whereas comprehensible means understandable. Superb versus superior. Superb: we had a superb meal at Gino's. Kaufman's performance was superb. Superior: this model is superior to the others. Clarification: superb denotes excellence, while superior suggests being of higher quality or rank. Childlike versus childish. Childlike: my brother has a childlike enthusiasm. Childish: my sister's behavior is very childish. Clarification: childlike implies innocence, while childish refers to immature behavior. Tasty versus tasteful. Tasty: the dish was really tasty. Tasteful: it's a very tasteful room. Clarification: tasty relates to flavor, while tasteful refers to having good aesthetic judgment. Opposite: tasteless. Opposite of tasty: tasteless. Opposite of comprehensible: incomprehensible. Clarification: tasteless refers to lacking flavor, and incomprehensible means not understandable. Now, you can use these distinctions in your language practice. In this English lesson, we'll focus on the use of adverbs commenting, a powerful tool for expressing opinions and nuances. I can't believe that Morris still commutes to London every day. It's an awful journey. Commute defined. Commute: travel regularly, often by train or car, between your home and your place of work. I know, but apparently, he really likes his job, and presumably, he earns a lot more working in London. Apparently defined. Apparently, evidently, or according to what you have heard or read. Synonymous with evidently. Presumably defined. Presumably, used to say that you think something is probably true. True: ultimately though, I think he does it more for his career than the money. Ultimately defined. Ultimately, finally, when everything has been considered. Fair enough. Fair enough defined, informal. Fair enough, used to say that an idea or suggestion seems reasonable. Frankly, I think he's mad. Frankly defined. Frankly, to be perfectly honest, used to express your true opinion about something. I don't entirely agree with you. Entirely defined. Entirely, in every way possible, completely, I entirely agree. It's entirely different. Basically, that is where we are different. For us, family life is more important, but for Morris, his career means practically everything to him. Basically defined. Basically, essential facts, used when giving the most important details. Synonymous with essentially. Practically defined. Practically, almost synonymous with virtually. Yes, I know. Strangely, he wasn't all that ambitious when we were at school. Strangely defined. Strangely, curiously enough, used to express surprise or curiosity. Oddly enough. Glossary. Commute: travel regularly by train, car, etc., between your home and your place of work. Apparently, evidently, or according to what you have heard or read. Presumably, probably, based on available information. Ultimately, finally, when everything has been considered. Fair enough, acceptable or reasonable. Frankly, to be perfectly honest, expressing a true opinion. Basically, essential facts, giving the most important details. Conclusion. In this lesson, we've explored adverbs commenting through a discussion on Maurice's commute. Understanding these adverbs enhances our ability to express opinions effectively. Practice and incorporate these adverbs into your own conversations. In this English lesson, we'll delve into the fascinating world of adverbs with multiple meanings. These versatile words add layers of nuance to our expressions. Let's explore some common adverbs and their dual roles in different contexts. Adverbs in action, multiple meanings. Let's begin with sentences that illustrate the varied meanings of certain adverbs. I briefly worked in the tax office. Briefly, for a short time. I briefly explained the concept to him. Briefly, in a few words. She said she came to my training session purely out of interest, but that wasn't strictly true. Purely, completely and only by chance. Strictly, exactly and completely. Smoking is strictly prohibited in here. Strictly, exactly, used to emphasize that something must happen in all circumstances. I don't know precisely how it happened, but I could see she was truly sorry about it. Precisely, exactly and correctly. Truly, sincerely, really. He is very young, that's precisely why he needs my help. Precisely, exactly. She was truly a remarkable woman. Truly, invariably, sincerely, really. The restaurant is invariably full, but it's primarily for tourists. Invariably, always happening or true, without exception. Primarily, mainly, synonymous with chiefly. Do go and see the play, and the acting was simply brilliant. Simply, in a way that is easy to understand. Brilliant, exceptional, outstanding. He explained the rules simply and clearly. Simply, clearly, easily. Glossary. Briefly, for a short time, in a few words. Purely, completely and only by chance. Strictly, exactly and completely. Emphasize that something must happen in all circumstances. Precisely, exactly and correctly. Truly, invariably, sincerely, really. Invariably, always happening or true, without exception. Primarily, mainly, synonymous with chiefly. Predominantly. Simply, in a way that is easy to understand. Used to emphasize a statement synonymous with absolutely.